The beginnings of English literature, the Old English period. We first hear of Great Britain in 55 BC when Julius Caesar crossed the English Channel and found the land occupied by a peace-loving, agricultural people called Celts. It was only in 80 43, however, when the Romans under Emperor Claudius actually conquered the island. In 449, waves of invasion from the European continent took place in the land. The invaders belonged to various Germanic tribes inhabiting the shores of the Danish peninsula and the southern tip of Scandinavia. These Teutonic tribes were the Jutes, Angles, and Saxons. Like other barbarians of northern Europe, they led semi-agricultural, semi-nomadic lives. The people were divided into two social classes: the Earl, the ruling class, and the Churl, who traced his ancestry to some war captive of the tribe. The Earl was deeply loyal to his king, who was a brave and revered leader in times of war, and in times of peace, a wise judge and a generous giver of material rewards for services rendered. The social system was very simple. Justice was founded on the spirit of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But this was softened by a system of blood money, whereby a fine could be given by the killer to the family of the man he killed. In those troubled times, when might was right, the warrior was the most important human being. He was the man who solved all problems. War was the general way of life. The churl tilled the soil, hunted, and fished for his earl, to whom his services were bound by a special favor. He could attain the status of a free man, but the free men were few. The churls far outnumbered the earls and constituted the submerged multitude who toiled and lived and died in silence. Even less important in this primitive society were the women, who were considered valuable only for domestic duties and as marriageable commodities, or purely decorative elements of society. It was solely a man's world. The code followed was a warrior's code of pride, loyalty, and courage to one's king. To this code, all the earls and thanes or noble followers were bound. But early in the history of England, another individual came into view, one who was to affect the life of England. This individual was the priest, who was the bringer of this new world of knowledge and culture. Christianity was established in Britain before 8400. When the Romans left, Christianity was kept alive by the zeal of Irish missionaries. In 597, Pope Gregory the Great sent Saint Augustine as a missionary to England. And that's it. For questions, share them on our discussion board or in our discussion thread, or comment them down, and we'll talk about them on our next synchronous class.